You actually pregnant?
I can be sad with you. Just take my hand and fly out through the dreams where the skies are so clear.
I just took a pregnancy test. I feel like I can already see the
I
line.
wanna stay with you.
So hey guys, welcome back to Mama Dubé. I'm Shelby and I make videos all about motherhood. I hope you guys enjoyed that intro. I have updated it. If you didn't notice, go back and watch it again. It's a little bit different than my intro before. And I just wanted to go ahead and say thank you to all of my new subscribers. I recently posted a video of me finding out that I was pregnant and my husband's reaction and all of that. So if you're new here because of that video, please leave a comment down below and let me know like where you are in your parenting journey, or even if you're not in your parenting journey, I'd love to connect with you. So if you're new here, please leave a comment down below and say hello. And also let me know what types of videos you're interested in. Obviously, after finding out that I'm pregnant, I do have quite a few pregnancy videos lined up. So we're going to be talking about that for a little while. So if there's anything regarding pregnancy or motherhood or being a parent to a toddler, leave a comment below. Let me know. I would love to start communicating with all of you more, and I'm just so glad that you're here. I also wanted to go ahead and apologize for the way that I sound. My family is currently battling with COVID. I'm pretty sure we got the new one, Omicron. It's just like a cold with somewhat feverish symptoms, and none of us are feeling great. So we've been sick now for way too long. We've been sick since Christmas, and today it is January 6th. We're actually just a couple of days away from Lucas's birthday. His due date was actually today, and he was born 2 days after his due date, and he is going to be 2 years old. But in today's video, I wanted to share with you what my earliest symptoms were for pregnancy. So I found out super early that I was pregnant. I was only like 3 weeks pregnant when I found out. And if you didn't watch the video of my reaction and everything, go back and watch it because I explained my shock in that video. I did not expect to have a positive outcome on the pregnancy test that I took. But in hindsight, there were some symptoms that I did notice because I am very in tune with all of that. So I wanted to tell you what those earliest symptoms were, and then I'm going to also share what my symptoms were all the way through about 8-9 weeks, because I just want to cover all of the time up until my very first appointment, which I had right at 8 weeks and 6 days. So that will be the next video that you see from me. So make sure that you're subscribed to my channel if you're not already, so that you don't miss that video. And we have a lot of other good videos coming to you. Like, I actually already know the gender of the baby because we did a sneak peek test, and I'll be sharing how I did all of that. And I also recorded myself finding out the results of that. So that's a really fun video that you'll see here in just a couple of weeks. I also wanted to say, if you are my family and you're watching this, I am probably going to talk about some details that you might not want to hear about, specifically in that first week that I found out that I was pregnant. So maybe I'll just give you a little warning right before I get into those details, because I don't want my dad hearing about bodily functions that he just doesn't need to hear about. So that's just the very beginning. Like I said, before I was even 4 weeks pregnant, some of those symptoms are just a little too much, and I don't really want to share those with you, Dad, if you're watching this. Again, I'm so sorry for the way I sound. I feel like I'm just like super congested, and it sounds like I am. So if you see me looking down, I'm looking at my notes. I have like every single week what my symptoms were like, and everything that I wanted to say to you, because my audience is growing so much. So like I said, I've gotten 25 subscribers in a week. So thank you again for subscribing to my channel. I'm very excited to see what happens on my channel at this point, and I really want to keep up with it. So I'm glad I'm feeling well enough to record this video for you. So in case you are wondering as well, I am already 12.5 weeks pregnant. I am already showing. I mean, it's not like a super obvious bump, but to me, this is probably where I was when I was about 20 weeks pregnant with Lucas. So they say that that happens a lot faster with your second pregnancy. But yeah, we're just gonna go up until 8 weeks, and then I will keep you updated after that. So this is the part that if you're my family and you don't want to know TMI, just fast forward a little bit, because this is where I'm going to talk about that information. But before I took the pregnancy test, again, I'm super in tune with everything, and if you have watched any of my previous videos that are recent, I explain a little bit about my history with infertility. So knowing that my husband and I were not preventing anything, we weren't preventing pregnancy, although we weren't really trying at the time. Like, I wasn't doing ovulation tests or anything like that, but I was hyper aware of everything going on because I knew there was a slight chance, hopefully there was a slight chance, that I could be pregnant as long as my infertility issues were better. So the one thing that I did notice is after the time that I was supposed to have ovulated, I actually had quite a bit of discharge. Again, a lot of information for ears that don't want to hear it, but after ovulation, normally, unless you're pregnant, you don't have any. So that kind of like made me think about it a little bit. I was like, maybe I'm pregnant. It's not why I took the test. I took the test because, like I said, there was a slim chance, and I buy my pregnancy tests in bulk because as someone who previously had infertility, you just take a lot of tests. So honestly, that is the only symptom, which I found out super early, but that is the only symptom that I had that clued me in. So I wasn't nauseous or anything until after that point. But after I found out that I was pregnant, quite a few things started to happen. And if I didn't know, I would have probably just thought that my period was coming. My uterus started feeling, I guess, like swollen or heavy, if that makes any sense. It was almost like, it was kind of like period cramps, but it was just, I could just tell there was more going on in there. And I guess, like I said, since I'm super in tune with my body, I just kind of felt like I could feel the fact that I was pregnant. I felt a little bit more pulling and cramping in my uterus, and then I started having like small waves of nausea. It wasn't horrible, it was really just annoying. Like, I'd want to eat something and then all of a sudden feel a wave of nausea. But it didn't really affect me that much at this point. I was, however, extremely tired. That has been something that has just lasted through my entire first trimester, and if you heard me say so earlier, I have COVID right now. I'm recovering from COVID. It's been 12 days of COVID, and you know, one of the biggest symptoms of that is being exhausted, and I've already felt that way for the past few months because I was pregnant. So, and in your first trimester you feel like that. So that very first week we told quite a few people, and this is just how we are. It's not just me and it's not just my husband. Both of us don't know how to keep our mouths shut when something like this happens. I told my mom the very first day because I just was in such shock. I called her like 5 or 6 times, and she was super busy throughout the day, so it took her a long time to get back to me. And finally I told her. I told Mary, who is a friend of mine. I've mentioned her in previous videos. She's passed a lot of things down to Lucas, and I used to watch her children. We also told my older brother Cody, because he came over the same night that I found out, and it was just such exciting news. We had to tell him. And other than that, we told my friend Tiffany, who brought over the donuts for me to tell Robert, and we also told our server at the Mexican restaurant. She's kind of become a friend. She even got Lucas a Christmas present this year, which was very sweet of her. But so we told her about it too. Okay, so week 4, I started waking up to pee in the middle of the night. So if you've ever been in your first trimester before, if you've ever had a pregnancy before, you're very exhausted. And for me, it was just so annoying to have to get up in the middle of the night to pee because it disturbs your sleep. Then you have to get comfortable and go back to sleep and all of that again. So that started happening, and it's gone on every single night since then. And I started feeling pretty nauseous. In the morning, I would need to eat something right away so that I wouldn't feel nauseous. And then when Lucas would wake up, all the smells were just like way too much. you know, just like a wet diaper and his breath from overnight and just all of that. Like, I wanted to hold him and snuggle him and stuff, but like the toddler smells, you know what I mean? Especially a dirty diaper, you know, like that just wasn't fun. So when Robert was home, I was asking him to take care of those for me. So, and he did. It was no big deal. I also was having more cramping in my 4th week and a little bit of back pain, which back pain for me is something that comes and goes, and it's been very severe in the past, has not been severe in a while. I also have on here that I was a lot more emotional. I would cry over little things. Also this week, week 4, we also ended up telling my brother Jesse, and it's interesting because I kept saying that I was going to wait until Thanksgiving to tell everybody. That was the big thing. I wanted to surprise everybody on Thanksgiving because we were hosting. And so I bought a shirt and everything. I've mentioned the shirt before. I think I wore it in my last video. I just kept knocking people out. Like, you already know and you already know. And so anyway, we ended up telling my brother Jesse because he came over and we got into a conversation and I just couldn't help myself. And then, of course, we told Robert's mom about it early, and I actually filmed this one. So I'll insert the clip of that right here. Hey!
Look at your shirt. Big bro. Cute shirt.
His shirt?
Big bro.
Big brother.
Yeah.
Lucas, can you say big brother?
Oh my god.
And I was like,
She's pregnant.
yeah.
She is.
How'd that happen? I don't know.
So yeah, she was super excited to find out. I at least have hers, and then I'll show you a couple more that we got on Thanksgiving. Okay, so let's move on to week 5. I have on here that I was even more emotional. I would cry over just like the silliest things, and that's not me normally. I'm not a crier normally, but things like Lucas wanting Robert more than me when he would be home or anything like that, I would get emotional about it. But I started getting back into running. It's funny, so many people kept saying to me that it's still super early in your first trimester. Nothing should have changed yet. Just keep running, you know? And for me, I was so exhausted, you know, and I don't know, if for me, it wasn't just like nothing changed. For me, lots had changed. So still running, and the fact that the weather had changed, it was getting cold. It just made running very unappealing. But this week I went back and I started running again, and I have not kept up with it. So we'll just leave it at that. I was also dealing with quite a bit of anxiety. I don't know if this was just because we were going to be hosting Thanksgiving in a couple of weeks, and I had all of these things I wanted to get done, but because that's what my mom said when I explained this feeling to her. She was like, Shelby, you're just trying to do too much. And for me, I was just like, but I want to get it all done before Thanksgiving. But anyway, I was feeling extremely overwhelmed. It was kind of hard to take a deep breath, and I was just not feeling great. So running was a really good outlet for me. I also was really craving soup and salty things. So that was something, actually I'm still kind of doing that. And sweets were not sounding good to me, which is very unusual. I'm usually like sweets over salty. So I wanted soup, I wanted saltines and pretzels and just salty foods. And then other than that, I had a lot of the similar symptoms of just, you know, needing to eat first thing in the morning and getting up to pee every night and things like that. And then week 6 came along, and this was the week of Thanksgiving. I still hadn't gained any weight at this point, and I was still feeling queasy in the morning. I was having ligament pains, and I was extremely exhausted. Definitely still feeling overwhelmed from everything I wanted to get done, but also just so tired, and it just felt really hard to get more than like one big thing done. I was also pretty irritable, so sorry to my husband because I know I was very irritable. And then I also have on this list that I really wasn't enjoying coffee as much, which is very, very weird for me. I actually switched to half caffeinated coffee way before I got pregnant because I was drinking way too much of it. So I thought, hey, if I just cut the caffeine in half, it won't be so bad for me to drink like 3 or 4 cups of coffee a day. So at this point I could barely finish 1 cup of coffee. I could have it first thing in the morning, but like if it got lukewarm or anything like that, I was done and I didn't want it for the rest of the day. Smells were really getting to me. I could smell absolutely everything. So like if there was anything that had any kind of funky smell, it was out. I did not enjoy it. I was still having a little bit of ligament pain and it wasn't severe. I can definitely say that compared to my first pregnancy, the ligament pain has been very minor. I guess my uterus is already prepared and been stretched out. So, and then another thing to point out is I actually tripped and fell while holding Lucas, who is almost 40 pounds. We fell over my dog. So I didn't see Copper and I just was walking with him and I was going pretty fast with Lucas down the hallway and just tripped right over him, and we both fell all the way to the ground. Lucas smacked his head on the floor really hard, and at the time that was all I was worried about. I did mention that I've had back issues before, so I was kind of worried about my back after I made sure Lucas was okay, which he was. He was perfectly fine afterwards, after he calmed down, of course. But I felt fine when it happened. And then as the day went on, my toes started turning blue. And then they turned red and got better like within a couple of days. It hurt to walk for a couple of days. And then the next couple of days, my shoulder started hurting. So I don't know if I tried to catch myself or somehow I landed on my shoulder. And then a whole week later, so in the next week, I started having some back pain from it to the point that I needed to like start icing my back again and things like that. So that was not fun because it was kind of scary thinking that I was already dealing with back pain in my first trimester. But I'm good now, so don't even worry about it. So Thanksgiving Day came, and that is when we ended up telling my dad and his wife Denise and my sister-in-law, Cody's wife, Christy, because those were the only people left to tell. I had already told Katie, which is Jesse's wife, because she kind of guessed it. She asked me point blank if I was pregnant, and I just can't lie. It's just not, I just don't enjoy lying. And I tried. She asked me and I was like, no. And then I was like, okay, yeah, I am. Anyway, and then I got some footage of telling my dad and his wife, as well as the footage of telling Christy and when they got there for Thanksgiving. So I'll include that footage here. So the shirt says, it's hard to tell. If you read all of this shirt, you will find out that I am pregnant. And most everybody knows. Everybody except for my dad and his wife, Denise, which is also Mimi, and my brother's wife, Christy. So my sister-in-law, Christy, and the kids don't know. And they're the only ones. So today I'm hoping to capture their reactions when they realize that my shirt says that I'm pregnant. So yeah.
Yeah.
Are you going to be a big brother?
No.
Yeah, you are. Can you say big brother?
Hey, Bubba.
Is there a baby in mommy's tummy?
Hey, Bubba.
Big brother? Say, yay, big brother!
Yay!
One of these. Dad, you gotta try one of these. Yeah. They're molasses cookies,
Hey, Shelby.
and they are so good.
You made?
Hi, Robert. Do you want to bring that over here?
You made this?
Will you guys read my shirt?
You want any wine?
My shirt.
Oh,
Hey, this isn't going on YouTube.
Did you read
is it? Read all of this.
what?
Go.
What?
Snap.
Oh my. No wonder Robert's so cranky. We were talking about how cranky you were, and I almost
How
said,
cranky! Oh, no.
I almost said Shelby's probably pregnant or something.
So I'm like super. How are you? It smells so good in here. I wanted to show you the shirt that I'm wearing. Yes. Oh, the shirt.
Shelby.
Only like 6. Oh almost 7 weeks.
I've known that before.
Yeah, he's not since the beginning. And I was like, please don't tell her. And I was like, don't tell anybody, because I'm going to tell everybody on Thanksgiving. Everybody has found out.
I'm the only one that can keep a secret. Break the ham of the turkey. That's awesome. I need to know, put it.
Okay.
Once you move
These-
the rolls to the table, I guess.
Yeah. That's what I'm going to do.
So when are you gonna make it like official?
Like tell the world.
Yeah.
Yeah, I probably wait till my first trimester is over to like put it on YouTube.
Yes,
I just
yes.
recorded you just now. But I don't have everybody's reaction because of how everybody found out. Like, yeah. So anyway.
That's good to find out like right before the holidays.
Yeah, like I
it
was
extra
so
special.
shocked because I took a test like
I told you
9
it would be
days
by Christmas.
before.
I told you.
Yeah, I know. But overall, Thanksgiving Day went really good. We had way too much food. And then the day after Thanksgiving, I was so tired. And this is really when the nausea really started to set in. So unfortunately, as full as we all were on Thanksgiving Day, you know, nobody really wanted to eat leftovers that day. And then the next day, you know, you're looking forward to all those Thanksgiving leftovers, and I could not do it. I just couldn't eat them, and it was such a bummer because I was, you know, planning those dishes for weeks. And then after that, I was completely depleted of energy. So it took me a few days to really recover from that. It was just probably too much for me to do, but it was worth it. I'm so glad that we hosted because I know next year I'm gonna have a newborn and a toddler, and I know we aren't gonna wanna host, and hosting is something that I really enjoy. And so the very next week was week 7, and that week the nausea just was super strong, and I was really struggling with it because it just made me very irritable, made me not want to eat anything, and I know that like eating makes you feel better, but I just didn't want to. So I had also gained a few pounds, probably from Thanksgiving. I had gained 3 pounds at this point. I really was not into sweets still. I just really, anything sweet was just making the nausea worse. And all I really wanted was soup. So I just wanted salty things, and I wanted to eat soup for every single meal. My energy was also super low, and I was just trying my best to survive and nap as much as I could, and I just kind of felt like I was doing nothing but keeping my son happy and as entertained as possible and then sleeping. So the house wasn't in tip-top shape, and I just was kind of allowing that to just be that way for a couple of weeks. I also started taking Unisom and B6. I watched a few videos on this, and I also eventually did talk to my doctor at my appointment, but I kind of did my own research to do this, and what I ended up doing is I got the little bottle of Unisom, and I would break those in half, and so I would take half of a Unisom at night, and then I got 100 milligram B6, and I would take half of one of those at night. Honestly, once I started taking this combination, all of my nausea disappeared. I have not felt nauseous since the end of week 7. So it's incredible, it's very strange, but all of my nausea went away. Some people have to take a little bit more, and you have to end up taking like Unisom in the morning as well with B6, but for me, I just wanted to do it as minimal as possible, especially since I hadn't talked to my doctor yet, and I was just taking it at night, but it was working. And at week 8, that's when my back started to hurt. I was still extremely tired, and other than that, my nausea was pretty minimal. I was actually feeling like maybe I wasn't pregnant, which I knew I was pregnant, but my symptoms just kind of disappeared. That week is also when I had my first doctor's appointment, which will be my very next video. So I hope you guys enjoyed this video. I know it was probably a little bit long-winded, but I really enjoy watching videos like this, especially when I'm going through it. So if you're going through it, hopefully this video was informative for you. Maybe you had some of the same symptoms, maybe you didn't. Hopefully you weren't extremely nauseous. This is very unusual this time around. Like I've said, this time around my symptoms have been very, very mild besides being tired. So yeah, I'm doing really good throughout my first trimester. So yeah, those were my pregnancy symptoms from like week 3 all the way through week 8. I hope you guys enjoyed watching. Please make sure that you like this video if you haven't already, and if you aren't subscribed to my channel, go ahead and subscribe. Like I said, I've got a lot of other pregnancy videos coming your way, including what my first doctor's appointment was like and what I discussed with the doctor. And I even was able to get a little clip of an ultrasound while I was there. And then I'll also be sharing my gender results that we got through Sneak Peek and how I went about taking that test and what you have to do for that and everything. So don't forget to leave a comment down below and let me know where you are in your pregnancy journey if you are pregnant, and what you would like to see, what kind of videos you want from another pregnant person who already has a toddler. I'd love to share it all with you. So yeah, I will see you guys in the next video. I hope you don't get Omicron. Bye!